Picking an individual stock can be a tad bit difficult. Sometimes after choosing a stock, you discover that the price has started depreciating and you might start panicking. But I come with a good news, because there's an investment instrument that you don't really have to pick a particular stock. You diversify in lots of stock and it's being managed by experts. That's what I'll be discussing in today's video. Welcome to Waxfly TV, a channel where we'll talk about lots of investments. If you want to get started investing all by yourself, then you should smash that subscribe button as we keep bringing you ways to go about making some cash for yourself. Now let's talk about ETF, that's exchange traded funds. ETFs are a basket of various investments like stocks and bonds, whereby investors get fraction of all these securities. Now you don't get to invest in a particular stock, you get to invest in lots of stock. If that is a bit confusing, let's try to use an analogy to explain it. Let's say you go to the market to buy a particular fruit. Let's say you want to buy apple, but all of a sudden you don't just want to get apple, you want to get also banana, you want to get pineapple and other fruits, but you don't have enough cash to get all those fruits individually. The best thing to do is to get yourself a fruit salad. That's what ETF is all about. They tend to make a basket whereby there are other stocks inside that basket, and once you buy a slice of that basket and you have diversified your portfolio. ETFs are managed by a lot of experts out there, so you don't get to study any stock you want to buy. All you have to do is to study the ETF and to know the stock that is in that ETF, and they do the rest for you and you make some profit. It's amazing that ETFs looks like mutual fund, but there are some differences when it comes to ETF and mutual fund. We'll not be talking about the differences today. We'll just be telling you about ETFs so that you get to understand what ETF is all about and how to go about investing in ETF. Now, what are the advantages of investing in ETF? Number one is that it diversifies your portfolio. You don't get to invest in a particular stock, let's say Dangote stock, or you don't get to invest in Access Bank alone. ETF diversify by investing in various investments out there or various stocks out there. You can see an ETF that invests in 30 stock, and once you buy a slice of all those 30 companies. And it's a good thing, because if one company is depreciating in price, the other might be appreciating in price, and there'll be a balance and you make more profit. Imagine if you invest in an ETF that gets 30 stock and all of them are appreciating in price, you are getting lots of profits also. So that's one advantage of investing in ETF. The second advantage is that you can easily go liquid. Now, since it's listed in the stock market, ETF is one of the stock in the stock market. You can easily sell off your stock and get your money. It's not an investment where you have to leave it for a long period of time before you withdraw. Once you buy an ETF, it's just like buying stock in the stock market. Once you see there's an appreciation in price, you can sell off and make some cash. Next advantage is that it is managed by experts. These are stock analysts. These are people that are experts when it comes to the investment world. So you don't really get to manage it by yourself. Experts are there looking at the market and understanding the market so that they can make profit for you and you get some cash. Also, it's not expensive. You don't need to break the bank for you to get started investing in ETF. Just like your stock, you can buy an ETF and you can get started making some cash. There are also some ETF that pay you dividend, which means you can get paid in two ways. That's the price appreciation and also dividend payment. So ETF is a great one when you want to get started investing in the stock market but you don't really know the stock to choose. Now, how do you go about getting started? You need to create a brokerage account in any of the brokerage companies out there. There is the Meristem brokerage company, there's also the Stanbic IBTC brokerage company, there's Investor brokerage company. That's the one I use personally, Investor 2.0. If you're like me and you're using Investor 2.0, you should understand it that there's no ETF listed in the stock in Investor 2.0. If you want to go ahead investing in ETF using Investor, you need to message their brokerage team. That's brokerage team at afriinvest.com. Once you send them a mail, tell them you want to invest in ETF, tell them the ETF you want to invest, and they'll carry on from there. But for some other brokerage company, you see the ETF listed in a list of stock in that brokerage company. So that's how you can get started investing in ETF. How do you create a brokerage company? You have to give in your information like your BVN, you need to put your bank details, you need to put in your utility bill, your address, and other information you need to put in there. After creating it, you need to fund it and get started investing in ETF. Now, since you already know how to get started, how do you go about choosing an ETF when you know nothing about ETF? There are various ETFs available in Nigeria and you can choose from. Some of those ETF are Stanbic IBTC ETF 30. Now, it's currently selling for 310 naira at the moment as at time of recording this video. And one great thing about this ETF is that it invests in the top 30 companies in Nigeria. Once analysts get those 30 companies, they invest your money there and you can start making profit. You can go ahead buying this ETF using your brokerage account. There are other ETF out there. There's the New Gold ETF. There's also the Lotus Capital ETF. There's also the Vetiver Griffiths 30 ETF. There's the Meristan Value ETF. Now, the Meristan Value ETF is currently valued for 117 naira. You can get started investing in this ETF just like you want to get started investing in a stock. Let's say you want to get started investing in the Stanbic IBTC ETF 30. All you have to do is that you have to get up to 310 naira to buy a unit. Now, you can get as much unit as you want. You can get 10 units, that's 3,100 naira. You can get 20 units, that's 6,200 naira. Any unit you want to get, you just have to put that amount and you invest, and it can start making money for you. It's a great thing investing in ETF if you don't know how to choose an individual stock. Also, it helps you to diversify, which makes it a lucrative way of you making money from the stock market. So if you have any comment, you can drop it in the comment section, or any questions as regards investing in ETF, you can drop it in the comment section and I'll personally answer all your questions as regards investing in ETF. If you want us to make any video on any investment instruments you don't really understand, also drop it in the comment section and I'll personally make my research and make that video on how to go about investing in that investment instrument you want us to discuss. Don't forget to like this video and also subscribe to this channel as we bring you ways to go about making some cash online. Till next one, peace.